man stands a boxer and a fighter by his trade, and he carries the reminders of every glove that laid him down or cut him, till he cried out in his anger and his shame, I am leaving, but the fighter still remains. Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we're returning to one of my favourite new types of rule. This is the zipper line, these lavender lines here, and a puzzle by GDC called A Bit of a Stretch, which we've had recommended and apparently is not too difficult, just 2 stars out of 5 for difficulty, whopping high approval rating. And GDC's puzzles have always been brilliant, so I've no doubt this is great, and this is what we're going to be having a look at. If you've never seen zipper lines before, I will read the rules properly, but the simple idea is that whatever digit you put in the middle of a zipper line, you find the 2 cells that are sort of equidistant from that middle position. So these 2, for example, they have to add up to the middle digit of the zipper line. So then it would be those 2 that have to add up as well to the middle of the zipper line. Those 2 have to add up to the middle of the zipper line. And that's it. That's all the rules. So very simple rule set, and no doubt a lot of elegance to have a look at. Now, what do I need to tell you about before we kick off today? Well, the competition for May has now closed. So fantastic, all those of you who managed to finish Glum Hippo's Snake Egg Sudoku Hunt, congratulations, that is no mean feat. We'll be releasing solution videos shortly, and hopefully they will help if you did get stuck. And I'm starting to tease very soon something really spectacular we have for the month of June as our Patreon reward, so look out for that. I will tease it anon. Anyway, other news. Lots of you have been saying, when are we going to stream again, and what are we going to stream? We've had loads of recommendations in. I'm quite tempted to have a go at Braid, which is a platform game, so it's going to require dexterity, which is slightly concerning. But loads of you are saying that it's got lots of puzzle elements too, and I have to say I loved The Witness, which I believe was by the same sort of game designer, Jonathan Blow. So yeah, maybe Braid. What do you think of that idea? Let us know. And then I've got some birthdays to do, so let's start. I'll start off with Charlie Joseph, whose birthday it is today, and I know this because Silky Heart Pound wrote to us via Facebook, which is a medium we don't use very often on Cracking the Cryptic. But Charlie, I hope you have a brilliant birthday today with chocolate cake, and I'm afraid if Silky Heart Pound is a pseudonym that you don't recognise, you're going to have to go and ask all your friends. Next, I'm slightly late with this one. Yesterday it was Elizabeth's 9th birthday. And I know this, Elizabeth, because your dad Ryan wrote to us and said you've started to watch Cracking the Cryptic videos, and the 2 of you have been working on about a puzzle a week from our Greatest Hits Book 2. That is spectacular work. 9 years old, and you're already solving some of those puzzles in that book. That is absolutely jaw-dropping. So Elizabeth, I hope you had a brilliant birthday yesterday. I understand your favourite colour is pink, and that means strawberry cake might take a precedence over chocolate cake, but well, that's fine. We'll let that one slide today. Next birthday, Ezra, another young birthday. Ezra's turned 14. And I know this, Ezra, because your brother Joel wrote to us. Oh, it's your birthday on Sunday, wasn't it? So I'm a couple of days late with this one. I'm sorry about that. But I understand that you're a very clever guy who sometimes tests Joel's puzzles. So a very clever family is what it sounds like. And Ezra, I hope you got chocolate cake on your birthday. Next, Joshua. I hope I'm saying that correctly. You've turned 23. I think you might be over there in Germany. And your friend, I want to say Eliza. That's how we'd say that in England, but it could be Alyssa. I'm going to say Eliza. I hope that's not wrong. Eliza wrote to us, Joshua, and said that you'd supported her through tough times, and she is so grateful to have you in her life, and that you both discovered cracking the cryptic as a way of overcoming sleep difficulties. My soporific effect strikes again. But anyway, thank you both for watching, and many happy returns. Next, another late one. Sorry, Magnus, you turned 30 on Sunday, and your colleagues were getting you a cake, so you weren't sure if it was going to be chocolate, but I hope your colleagues know the guidelines. Chocolate cake, ratio of icing to cake 1:1 is the desired thing. So Magnus, happy birthday. Molly, you turned 25 yesterday. And, well, I understand you find the channel because it helps to turn your brain off. It's meant to turn people's brains on. But Molly, I hope you had a great day yesterday. And I hope you had chocolate cake. And then finally, somebody who I know is getting chocolate cake because it is being made. Patrick, you've turned 31 today. And I know this because your partner, Jennifer, wrote in. You think you're over there in Boston, and I was to say howdy to you. Howdy, Patrick. Many happy returns. There we go. That's all the birthdays. Let's have a go at GDC's puzzle. These are the rules. It says normal Sudoku rules apply. Well, I was expecting that. So we have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and every 3x3 box. And then digits an equal sum from the circled centre of a zipper line sum to the central digit. So we've already talked about this. So let's do some colours. So if we make that square blue, these two squares, those two green ones, those two, oh, I should use a different colour, those two yellow ones and those two red ones. So the two red ones add up to blue, the two yellow ones add up to blue, and the two green ones add up to blue. That is all there is to it. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, do I know any secrets of zipper lines? I suppose that's where we should start. Yeah, that's not a bad place to start. I'm going to start there. There is one secret I know about zipper lines, and that is you can never put 9 anywhere but in the centre of a zipper line. And that's fairly intuitive, isn't it? Because if we were to try and put a 9 there, for example, what would the zipper line total be? Well, it would be at least 10, because once we add this digit to the 9, which we would need to do to get to the value of this digit, we would get a double-digit number. So that's not going to work. So in box 2, 9 must be in one of those 3 squares, which means, actually, straight away, that this zipper line total is not now 9. I'm wondering if there's some sort of iterative effect because of that. Because if this can't be 9, you now can't put 8 on this zipper line. But I could put 8 on that zipper line. Imagine if there was a reason you couldn't put 8 on that zipper line. Then 8 would go in there, and then this couldn't be 8, and then you could then that would be at least a 7, and you couldn't put 7 on the zipper line. That's the sort of cunning that GDC might be involved in. So let me just think about this. Hang on. That one can't be 9 either, actually. So this is a maximum of 8. Why, if this had 8 on it, this would be 9. It's already getting quite interesting then in box 4 as to where 9 goes, because again 9 can't go on as I suppose well that's actually interesting straight away, isn't it? Where does 9 go in box 4? Well, it can't go on a zipper line. So 9 is in a relatively okay. Where's 9 in box 7? Not in those squares by Sudoku, not in those squares by zipper, so it's in one of those 3 squares, which means in box 1 it's restricted. Nah, this is not quite working, is it? So, okay, maybe the other thing we could think about with zipper lines is sort of totals. So I'm actually quite interested in this one. This zipper line, because I can see all of those digits on the zipper have to be different. So what's the minimum value of those green cells? Well, if I made them as small as they could be, they would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, because I couldn't repeat a digit in those green cells. So the absolute minimum of those greens is 15, the triangular number for 5, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. The minimum of that is 1. That is 16, is the minimum total for that zipper line. And that's 3 different totals, isn't it? Because we've got that total, and that total. So if we imagine the total, if we imagine this is x, 3x is equal to at least 16. So this digit is at least equal to 6 then, because 5 would be too small. 5 times 3 is 15, and we know this line adds up to at least 16. So that is 6, 7, or 8. It's not 9 because of the pencil mark we've got it. Oh. Okay. Well, that's actually clarified a different point for me. So where is that digit in this box? I could have asked that totally independently of worrying about green. But where is this digit in box 4? Now, it can't go in its own column, obviously, and it can't go on its own zipper line, because the digit opposite it would have to be a 0, and that is not in the rules. So that's a yellow digit. Now, that's going to mean this square is a bit pushed up, isn't it? Because that digit's at least 6. So this digit is now at least, let's give that a colour. That digit is at least a 7 now. Oh, and it's not 9, actually. Okay, so that's weird. So this digit can't be 8, because if that was 8, this would need to be 9, and it can't be because of what we did first up. So that's... Right, so this digit is a 1 or a 2, because these two digits together sum to either 7 or 8. Right, okay, so now I'm not going to do iterative stuff, but I'm going to now ask where blue goes in box 2, because that seems a good question. Because blue can't go on its own zipper line, it can't go in its own column, so blue is in one of those squares, and that means that this digit is higher than that digit. So this digit is now 8 or 9. Which might matter. I like this though. It seems to be about where can you put the middle digit, the sort of zipper center digit in various boxes, doesn't it? Yeah. So look at box 8 and ask where blue goes, and the answer is we don't know. But blue, which is a very big digit, is in one of those squares, which means that square, I don't know whether that can be red, but that digit is, well, it's bigger than blue, so it is 8 or 9. Now, is it red is the question. I don't think it's red. Yeah, this is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Right, let me give that a colour. Okay. Now, my first instinct was these could be the same, but I don't think they can be, because let's ask where this digit now goes in box 2 again. Now we know that blue is greater than orange, so orange in box 2 cannot go on blue's zipper, because one of these digits would then need to be a negative number. So that means orange goes on that zipper, and if it goes on that zipper, orange is less than red. So now this has to be 8, that has to be 9, that has to be 7 by Sudoku, and that has to be 6 by Sudoku, and we've got sort of a picture emerging of all of the all of the high digits. So now these digits have got to be 7. Well, 7 and 8 are appearing on this zipper, which means 1 and 2 have to be on the other zipper, don't they? Right, okay, and now let's look back at box 4, where 7 and 9 can't go on a zipper that adds up to 6, so those two squares are a 7-9 pair. We can't put 8 on a line that adds up to 6, so I'm going to get an 8 in this box. I've now got all the high digits placed in row 4. These two digits are relatively restricted by Sudoku. Look, they have to be 3, 4 or 5, because they can't be 1 or 2, which we worked out had to go on the 9 zipper. Now, yeah, okay. This is lovely, by the way. This is lovely. This is the sort of Sudoku I wish we saw more often. Let me just elaborate very slightly on that. It's got beautiful logic in it, and I wouldn't say it's difficult logic particularly, but it's elegant. It makes you feel happy when you find it. and it's got a simple rule set, and yeah, it just ticks a lot of boxes. And I think even if you've never seen variant Sudoku before, you could appreciate this. Yeah, it's really, really quality. Now, here is my question. What on earth are we doing with 3 on this zipper line? Because 3 is in one of the green squares, isn't it? What number are we going to have to put opposite 3 to add up to 6? And the answer is 3. So that means, I think, that digit has to be a 3, because we can't put 3, for example, here, because then we'd need a 3 in the same box. Yes, so those 2 squares both have to be 3. Right, right, okay, so these are now 4 and 5. 1 and 2 in row 4 in these squares. There's a 1-2 pair that suddenly appeared in column 5, which means none of these digits... Oh, hang on, look, there's a 7 by Sudoku in one of these squares. That means there's a 1 by Sudoku opposite the 7 to add up to the 8 here. Where's 1 in box 4? It's over here. We're adding up to 6, so there's a 5 over here. There's no 5 down here now, so there's no 3 in those squares. There's a 6 up here by Sudoku. Now, can we put... No, we can't put 6 on a line that adds up to 6. Yeah, so if you look at the 6 totals here, you're either going to have 1 and 5 there, or you're going to have 1 and 5 there. And then the other, whichever one of these is not 1, is going to be a 2 or a 4. There's going to be sort of a 2-4 pair going horizontally. Which is probably important, but I can't quite see why. Okay. Now, where should we look next? 3. If we put 3 on the 9 zipper, opposite it would be 6 up here. And this would be a 6, 7, 8 triple. And we've got a 7 zipper here. Oh, look, that's a 6. So that's got to be a 1. Sorry, I didn't see that. So that's got to be a 2. That's got to be a 1. Now 1 is in this domino in box 8. 2 in this box I'm worrying about. Or maybe we should look at the other ways of adding up to 7 on this zipper. So we've got these 2 and these 2 to find. And okay, there are no more 1s on this zipper. So 1s and 6s are not... We've got 1 1 and 6, but we can't have another. So we're looking for 2s and 5s and 3s and 4s. Now 2s can't appear up here. So if there is a 2 on this zipper, it would have to be over here. And there would be a 5 up here. That might be possible. Otherwise, we're looking at a 3-4 pair somewhere, aren't we? Oh, my phone is buzzing. Okay, that's fine. No, okay, I'm not quite seeing how to do that. I could pencil mark it, but you know me. I'm not going to unless I absolutely have to. What about... No. That cell? That sees a 9 and a 6. But, yeah, that's not great. Because if we do our trick regarding the lowest possible numbers we can put on a zipper line, the lowest possible numbers we could put on this zipper line are 1, 2, 3 and 4. The triangular number for 4 is 10. So that would mean that this could be as low as 5, couldn't it? So it's 5, 7 or 8, because remember this is, if we think of this as x, then those two sum up to x, these two sum up to x. In other words, this line sums to 2x overall. And if its minimum value is 10, that means x needs to be 5 or more. Okay, no. Oh. Okay, here's something. 4 and 5 in box 2 can't go on this line. Because if they did, they would put a 4 or 5 on the other end of the line to add up to 9, and 4 and 5 can't go on the other end of the line. So these squares are not 4 and 5, so 4 and 5 live in those squares. That's possibly... Oh, hang on, here's a question. Where's 8 in box 7? Sorry, I'm jumping around a bit here. I'm trying to just find something. But 8 can't repeat on its own zipper. And 8 can't repeat in its own column. We could make that orange to make that a bit clearer look. So 8 is in one of those squares, which means 8 and 9 are now up here. Oh, right. Okay. Yes, let's look at this again. There's roping going on in these columns. If you're unfamiliar with roping, well, let's explain what roping is. So what we've got here, we should ask where 7 goes in this box, because I was thinking, can I put 7 on this wing of the TIE fighter here? And we can't, because if we do put 7 there, what do we have to put here? We've got to put 1, and we can't put 1 in column 5 again. So 7 in this box is here, with the 8 and the 9 pencil marks. Well, that means these are a 7, 8, 9 triple, and these are a 7, 8, 9 triple, and that means that these squares are a 7, 8, 9 triple, and this establishes what we call roping. Now, maybe... Yeah, I want to show you this, so I am actually I'm going to do something that's against my nature. Oh, goodness, I didn't mean to do that. What I wanted to do was to get rid of all of the colours, because this is the best way to see how roping works. So you can see we've got these 7, 8, 9 triples here. Let's think about those 3 digits and ask where they go in box 4. Well, we can see that each one of these blue digits here is not the same as any of the green digits by Sudoku. So in this box, these 3 digits have to go into exactly those 3 squares, which means in the top box they go into exactly those 3 squares. And now we're just left with the sort of final piece, which is these 3 squares can only live in those 3 squares now in box 4, which can only live in those 3 squares in box 1. So yeah, see, this is interesting, because now I know that 3 lives in the blue rope, which means 3 lives on this wing here, which means 5 lives in this wing. Now, we worked out earlier, I remember, that 4 and 5 don't go on this zipper line, so 5 is now over there, which means 5 is in one of those 2 squares of box 5. This is very pretty indeed. Okay. But is that enough to help us with the logic? I don't know. 6 is in this rope. 5 is in the orange rope. So 5 is in one of those squares, and 5 is in... Can we put 5 here? No. No, you can't. Because this zipper adds up to 7. So if I put 5 there, I've got to put 2 there, which I cannot do. So there's a 5, 6 pair in these squares. These cells, oh, this is going to... Mark would be delighted to see me do this. That is a proper pencil marking, isn't it? I've just given. Okay, but this is 2 or 4 now, so this square is 5 or 3. No, it's not 5. Let me just check that. That feels like a lucky discovery. Yeah, I'm happy that this is 2 or 4. We are adding up to 7, so that is 5 or 3 by maths, and I have got a 5 here, so I think that is a 3. which means this is a 4, which means... Well, now my blue rope is low digits only. It's 1, 2, and 3, so this is a 1, 2 pair. These are a 1, 2, 3 triple. This is gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous, because now these squares are 5, 6, and 7 to make, because I need digits that add up to 8 with 1, 2, and 3 in some order. So now 4, yeah, this is fine, isn't it? Where do we put 8 and 9 in this? Oh, has this been available for ages? Yes, it has. Oh dear, I didn't see it. Okay, one thing I could have seen, but I didn't see, is I could have asked the question, where do 8 and 9 go in column 5 a while ago? Because obviously we can't put 8 or 9 on a zipper that add up to 7. And you can't put 8 or 9 on a zipper that add up to 8. So that has been an 8-9 pair for a while. But that gives me a 4 here. And we need that therefore to be a 3. What about these squares? They are 4, 5, and 6, aren't they? And that's not 5. That's definitely a maverick sound I can hear. These are 1 and 2, and they're... Okay, so these are 4 and 5. To partner up with the 1 and the 2 here and add up to 6. That has given me a 4, 5, 6 triple in row... Oh no, that's going to be useless, isn't it? I've already got a 4, 5 established in box 6. Ah. I'm not sure how useful this is, but I'll mention it because I've seen it. That digit is a 1 or a 2. Now, I know that 1 and 2 live on this zipper line because of my pencil mark. So whatever that digit is, it can't go in these 2 squares, but it is in one of these 3 squares, so it must be in that one. So those 2 digits are the same. Is that... That's probably not worth recording, but that... Okay, we're adding up to 9, so that digit is now 7 or 8. Which might be interesting. We've got 4 and 5 in the orange rope, haven't we, to accompany the 6. And then I'm going to get stuck. Oh no. 4, 5, 6 triple and a 1, 2 pair. Oh, 3. Okay, that's interesting. So 3 is now not on this section of zipper. That's right, that's really useful. Because let's now consider where 6 goes up here. So with these zipper lines, you always have to be... You sort of have to look at the other end of the line sometimes. Because I know 3 is off the zipper here, I know 6 can't go up there. And if 6 can't go up there, because it would put a 3 in one of these 3 squares, 6 in this box now is with my 5, 9 pencil mark. So this is a 5, 6, 9. That has become a 4. That's a 4, that's a 5, that's a 6, that's a 5. Sorry, that is a huge interruption I've just undergone. First thing that happened was an alarm went off reminding me about a meeting I was meant to go to, which I'd forgotten about. So I had to go to that. And that was now... That was 5.5 hours ago, so there's been a significant interruption in my passage through GDC's puzzle. I am sorry, GDC, but I will try and remedy it now, although I have to confess, when I take a break from a puzzle, especially a prolonged one, I can never remember what I was doing. And so I may now have to... revisit. Oh no, hang on, I can get these digits. At least I can get something. If I can get something done quickly, we may be able to we may be able to keep going as if nothing much has happened. 3, 4, 9 go into those squares by Sudoku. That's not 6, and that's on a zipper line. And if that's not 6 on a zipper adding up to 8, that is not 2. And in this column we need 2, 7 and 8, I want to say. Why have I got 7 or 8? there. Okay, that's opposite that on a zipper. Ah, now I do remember that. Yes, that was on the zipper because of that, wasn't it? I needed to put that digit somewhere on the tail end of this zipper. So that's why that's restricted. Okay, so this is 2, 7 and 8. We can get rid of the corner pencil marks. These squares now we can work out the options for. Yeah, well, one of these has got to be a 7 because here is a knowledge bomb. 2 plus 7 adds up to 9. So the options for these squares are 1, 2 or 7. Right, and that if we look at this little triple here of 1, 2 and 7, the 7 of that triple is in this domino. And that means that's a 9. So we get a little bit of Sudoku to do. That's 9. That's 8. GDC, making me do Sudoku in your Sudoku puzzles is completely and utterly ridiculous. I should be able to work out what that digit is. It is a 6, I think. So these two, they are a 3, 8 pair. I'm going to get rid of the corner pencil marks in this box as well. I don't think they're helping me very much. So those digits are the same. And the corollary of that is... I have no clue. Right, hang on. Oh, oh no. How long's that been there for? Ah, okay, that's bad. Yes, these two, I don't know when I got these digits. I know it was many hours ago, but I don't know how long they've been sitting in the grid for. Look, there's a zipper here. So that's got to be a 2 to add it up to 6. And oh, hang on, how do I do that? And that's got to be a 1 to add up 5 and 1 add up to 6. So that digit is a 2. I actually hope that's not going to do very much because I have a feeling that's been causing much shouting at me. Right, well if that's 2, that's got to be opposite a 7, hasn't it? On a line adding up to 9. So this is not a 7. 4. Where's 4? And more to the point, can it be in the middle of that zipper line? No, it can't. That can't be a 4. Because, well, the minimum those digits can be now would be 1, 2, 3 and 5. And 1, 2, 3 and 5 add up to 11. And if you divide 11 by 2, you get 5.5, which is definitely more than 4. I mean, there are other simpler ways to see that. One simpler way would be to say, how do you constitute that sum that has to add up to 4 when it doesn't involve a 3? And it can't be double 2. That would have been a simpler way, but never mind. Right, that is now a number greater than 4. Yeah, okay, so what I'm seeing is, because this zipper is the sum of 4 plus another number, this digit is at least equal to 5. So it's 5, 6, 8 or 9. But I think an easier way to think about this row now is to say, where are the low digits in it? I've got a low digit here, which is a 1 or a 2. Where's the other low digit? Well, it's going to have to be in one of those squares where it's going to accompany its friend the 4. And now this can't be 8 and 9. This is beautiful. That can't be 8 or 9 because we're only adding up a maximum of 4 plus 2. So that's 5 or 6. There's a 5, 6 pair in the top row now. So that square's a 9. That square's an 8. Let's tidy up pencil marks. I've got a 5, 6 pair in row 2. 3 is in one of these cells by Sudoku. And for our next trick, we will say that I don't know. Well, actually I sort of do, don't I? I haven't quite got to the bottom of this in my brain yet, but there's something going on with low and high digits in row 2, I think, because these two digits are capped out now by the zipper center here. The maximum size of either of these cells is 5. In fact, no, it's not, is it? It's 4. Right, because there's a 5-6 pair here. Oh, no, it's not even 4. Oh, that's it. Oh, dear, okay. I would have got all this instantly had I not had such a long break. But look, in this row now, we've got a 5-6 pair and a 4. So these digits have to be from 1, 2, and 3. Because they can't be greater, they can't even be equal to 6, because if one of these was a 6, this would have to be at least 7. So these are only selectable now from 1, 2, and 3. And what's the maximum sum they can be, therefore? Well, they could be a 2-3 pair adding up to 5. Well, they can't be less than that, because they need to be at least that. So they are that. They're 5. That's 6, that's 5, that's 5, that's 6 by Sudoku. These two squares are a 2-3 pair. We can do that. That's 2, that's 3. This now is 2, this is 8, this is 2, this is 1. These are a 1-4 pair, which is lovely. So this is sort of a quintuple adding up to the triangular number for 5. And these have all got to be, well, these are the digits 6, 7, 8 and 9. But that digit has to find a home in box 1, and it must be there, mustn't it? So that is a 7 or a 9. 6 is in one of those squares. Let's just do Sudoku. That's 5, that's 4. Oh, right, look, this zipper's done. So I could have filled these in a few moments ago. 2 adds with 7. That means that's a 1. That means that's a 1, that's a 4. We've got loads of low digits in column 9 now. Ah, right. I can see one thing that might do. If we look down this column, I've got to place the digit 6, 7, 8, 9 in it, but that digit now is at least a 6. So this digit now can't be a 5, can it? Because we've got to be adding the two tips of the tuning fork together. In fact, that can't be an 8 or a 9, because this would then need to be at least 9. So this digit is at 6 or a 7. And that digit is no higher than 2, so this is a 1 or a 2. 7 here means that's 9. So these digits are a 6, 7, 8 triple. We know that's not 6. We know this isn't 7. We've got a 7, 8 pair in column 7. So that's 3. That's 8. That's 6. 7, 8 pair. Oh, what about this column then? We haven't put 4 and 5 into it. So let's do that. I've got, oh, no, that's okay. Okay, I suddenly saw I got a deadly pattern, look, of 4s and 5s. But it's not deadly, is it? Because it's going to be resolved by the tuning fork. This digit is, well, okay, I've actually seen it's 1, 2 or 3 by Sudoku. It couldn't have been 4 anyway, because if this was 4, this couldn't have been 4, and the sum of these would have been at least 9. So I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple in row 7. GDC, you're making me do too much Sudoku here. It's outrageous. I've also got a 1, 2, 3 triple. Oh, I see. I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple in row 8 as well. So where's 3 in this little congregation? It's got to be at the bottom, thereby eliminating the possibility of any singing today, which will no doubt please some of you. Now, that's not 5. Oh, hang on. Yeah, look. Where is 5 in this string of digits? Well, because of the 4, 5 pairs in row 8 and row 9, neither of those can be a 5. So this is 5. 5 plus what equals 8? Well, I can do that. That's 3. 3 is removed from here. I want to remove 3 from there. Well, this can't be 1 anymore, because 1 plus even 5 is not equal to 7 or 8. So that's got to be 2. That's 2, that's 1, that's 2, that's 1. That's done the zipper, so that's got to be 7, that's got to be 6. That's a 6 over here. Yeah, okay. And 2 plus what equals 7 or 8? Well, if we add 2 to 4, we only get 6, so that's 5. This is 7, this is 1, this is 3. And that's a 7 by Sudoku. And now it feels like it might be done now. That's a 5. So 5 goes here, 4 goes here, 4, 9, 9, whoops, 9, 8. Yeah, it must be done. 7, 8, 4, 8, 9 pairs. So that's 8, that's 9. And we haven't done the 9 and we haven't done the 7. That is an absolutely beautiful puzzle, isn't it? Beautiful. Oh, I'm getting shouted now. Oh no, it's all going off. Let me just have a look at the grid and tell you what my favourite moment of the puzzle was. It was the beginning, which I do remember. It was the fact that we could pinpoint where, was it that digit had to go on there? And then you could sort of trace round the grid how these things all had to flow. And it was absolutely beautiful. It is a beautiful, beautiful puzzle, this. GDC, take a bow. I have to run. Thank you for watching. Back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.